Man City have pretty much agreed a deal now for Julian Alvarez to go to Atletico Madrid. There's talk that it's going to be for somewhere in the region of about 40 million English pounds.
Yeah.
I want to go to Will first on this. They're your local rivals, yourself being a Real Madrid fan. How good a piece of business is this for Diego Simeone and Ati?
I mean, it's a good piece of business, to be honest. I mean, just last week, I was laughing at Atletico after Dovbyk rejected them. Then they went out there, they signed Sorloth. So he replaced Murata, and I was like, they're about to bring in Julian Alvarez. It is a good, and he does come across as a striker that does fit that way that they like to play. But to be honest, if they get him for that price, it's a steal. And I don't think it's going to be that low. I definitely think they're going to have to be paying maybe around like 80, 70 million euros just because he's such a valuable player that Man City don't even want to lose. And to me, I think City are about to lose their best striker. So, it hurts them. And, Atletico, I mean, he benefits going there. He's going to be playing in Spain, which is a better country to live in than England because the weather's better, the food's better. You know what I'm saying? He's going to be playing with the same. Hold on.
Have you been to the UK? Have
you been here, bro?
Yeah. You ever had a Sunday roast, mate?
Well, look.
No, in fairness, I was about to say, I wasn't going to say English food. Have you tried the traditional English Indian cuisine? Have you tried the traditional English Chinese cuisine? It's amazing.
Wait, so I do have family that lives in London. I've never been, but my mom's been.
There you go. So you're dissing us. You ain't even
No, hold on. But she said that the food was whack, right? Like she's talking about.
Where did she eat? Where did she eat though? Did she go Weatherspoons, bruv? Because that's the issue.
Look, I've seen pictures of y'all food, right? Like peas and like gravy on toast and nah.
Gravy on toast, what the hell?
Gravy on toast is crazy.
He's making that up.
It looks crazy, bro. But look, here's what I say before I end it though, right? Julian Alvarez has completed football, right? The guy's won everything. Like, so him going to Atletico, you know what I'm saying? Like their version of the Champions League final is whether they beat us every season or not. So, he's gonna give up trophies pretty much, but it's a good move though, in terms of just a upgrade.
When you say best striker, you think he's better than Erling Haaland?
Yeah, as an overall striker, yeah. Like he's a better, well, I wouldn't say as an overall striker. Let me say he's a better footballer than Haaland. For me, I think Haaland's very limited, right? I think he's a product of the systems that he's been a part of. If he's not scoring a 2-yard tap in, he might as well not be on the pitch, right? Julian Alvarez overall game is just much better than what Haaland is. Overrated player.
That's so disingenuous. Haaland has to get in those positions to score. He doesn't just score tap-ins. He does have overall game. He does bring people into play. Haaland is a fantastic striker. Yes, he might not be beautiful on the eye if you want to see an array of finishes and all of that stuff. But yeah, I can't agree with you there. I can't. So
I mean, see, but the thing with Haaland is that he has elite off the ball movement and he's elite in the box. But like that's it. I mean, he's big and strong, right? He's like everything that he does physically, but just as an overall footballer. He's not better than Julian Alvarez.
I hear you, but end product is what counts. And the guy's bagging 40 a season without fail. Do you know what I mean? So that has to come into consideration.
Fair, but then look at how City play. Everything has to tailor to Haaland. Like he makes City very one-dimensional now because you know exactly what they're going to try to do because Haaland doesn't really have many other ways of beating you. So now you're forcing crosses in. You're kind of forcing the ball to him because he's just there in the middle. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like for me,
but they've won everything though. Will, with all due respect, with last 2 years, they've literally cleaned up everything. So does it really matter?
But they're not gonna do that with or without him because City are just relentless, and that squad that they have is relentless. But he does help them though, for sure.
Yeah, I think
I'm waiting for someone else to talk.
I think it's a.
In fairness, I was just emptying out my. I was listening, but I was emptying out my wallet because it was overflowing with stupid stuff. So I was listening though. Carry on, Sard.
Yeah, listen, I think it's a great move for Atletico Madrid. I think it's like you said, he suits their system very well. He suits their team very well as a striker that they want to go for. You know, I would have wished that maybe we would have gone in for him and tried to put in some sort of a bid, but he wasn't my main striker to go for. I think my main striker is still Victor Gyökeres. But listen, Alvarez is a brilliant striker in his own right as well, man. He's got the ability on the ball. He's very good at set pieces, very good at free kicks. Very technical player as well. Fast and good on the ball. And I think, listen, right now I'm looking at the situation at Man City. this whole thing that they were preaching, this whole transfer window, which was we need to sell before we can buy, we need to sell before we can buy. I think now we have to see like who are they going to replace him with? Who are they going to bring in now? Who is going to be that striker that they need, that kind of technical striker? Who is there on the market at the moment that they can bring in that can fill that void? Do you know what I mean? So I think it's a very good deal for Atletico Madrid. I've heard that it's in the region of around 60 to 70 mil. But listen, it's a very good deal for Atletico Madrid, and I'm interested to see who from City or who City will bring in, because now they're going to have a massive void that they need to fill in attack as well. They need to fill that, because they can't just go with Erling Haaland. They need somebody to offset, and if he wants to change the type of striker he wants to use, then they need somebody to come in that's of a standard. You know what I mean? If they want to keep their dominance, because start to let a player like this go, and then they don't put in a player with similar talent. This is how the downfall of dynasties happens, bro. It starts with small players, with players leaving who you think, oh, it's all right, we could do without them, and then all of a sudden your other players start leaving, and all of a sudden you're losing talent, and then. Yeah, listen, they definitely have a job on their hands to replace him now, because I think he's a very good player. But yeah, it's a bit weird that Chelsea haven't gone in for him. I know for us, I think we're going for a different kind of striker. I think we're going for more of a tall striker, a presence in the box, a poacher, and I think that's the reason why we probably haven't gone in for him. But it's weird that Chelsea haven't gone in for him, because I think he'd suit Chelsea. I think he's a very good player who can come into Chelsea.
Just on that, I misspoke earlier because I got something jumbled up in my head. He's not going for 40 million. It's around 70 million pounds. The 40 million part is what Chelsea are now willing to pay Ati to sign Samu Amarodian. And that's the element that I don't quite get. Samu Amarodian, what I've read, what I've seen, what I've heard, is nowhere near Julian Alvarez. Chelsea are buying an inexperienced striker to add to their vat of inexperienced forwards, and it's helping Ati, in my opinion, still some one of the best forwards in Europe. I really do think he's one of the best forwards in Europe, Julian Alvarez.
But to be fair to like Chelsea, he's not bad. Like, he's a decent striker. Like, I've watched him a few times last season. Like he's very quick, he's strong, he's fast on the ball. So like, I mean, like I guess they're doing like the potential thing, like all their signings. But I don't really like the move like that either. But I know you were bringing up some of like the Premier League clubs, but I think Atleti's price would not be a big six club's price. Right, I'd like, for me, I think that you'd have to probably add like an extra 20 million on for what City would have maybe wanted if he was to go to an Arsenal or go to a Chelsea. But yeah, like, he is a really good player though, man. I think somebody should have probably came.
I think even with Chelsea, just quickly with Chelsea, like, he suits. I think he's on like a 90k or 100k or something like that at the moment. So even if Chelsea did go in for him, he fits in that whole. We want to get somebody below 150k or on 150k as a max that we're going to pay them in wages, which, listen, they could have brought him in 100k, put him up to like 125, 130, maybe even 140k, and you got yourself a player there. Do you know what I mean? So it fits even on the wage structure.
They've allowed it to happen.
I just don't think he suits Chelsea anyway, to be honest.
Julian?
No, I don't think so. We've got players who can do exactly what he does. And he's not a main striker, so that's what we're looking for.
No, but he's not a main striker. He's not a main striker because of the system.
But I don't think he's got the ability to do it. He's just not. He just doesn't have those traits to be like for me to be a number one striker. Like, for Atletico, I think it's a good move because they get a really good player. For him, I think it's a bad move because Atletico is a place where forwards go to die. So, like,
Chelsea.
People, yeah, exactly. People talk about Chelsea, but like Atletico Madrid at the same time, you're acting like their forwards go crazy. They don't. Like,
what? Come on, bro. Like, that's a little bit disingenuous, bro.
Atletico Madrid. You're telling
me score goals? They score goals.
Wait, there to cook. You're telling me forwards.
Don't have me defend them, please.
No. Will you have to? Will you have to?
Don't have me defend them.
Defend them. We'll defend them because
but to be fair, right?
He plays terrorism football.
Nah, bro. They scored like 70 goals last season.
Bro, your league has got 2 teams in it. Relax.
Nah, come on, bro. That's disrespectful. Oh, come on.
When they get to the Champions League,
La Liga is better than Champions League.
When they get to the Champions League, them man are sitting back, 10 men behind the ball. I love it. Don't get it twisted. I love the football.
Yeah.
But as a forward, I would hate to play in it because
David, question that no one's asked you yet. I'm going to ask it. Who in your team is as good or better than Julian Alvarez?
It's not as good. I think Nkunku has the ability to do what Julian Alvarez could do for us, because that's what we've signed him to do. He's our second striker, and I think if he has a fully fit season, he would be as good. Like, I do rate him very highly. So
I don't think you could play Nkunku as an out-and-out striker. I think you could play Alvarez as an out-and-out striker. But
I wouldn't want Alvarez. I wouldn't want to play Alvarez as an out-and-out striker.
But I think you guys are missing really one big thing. City won't sell to Chelsea. After what happened with Cole Palmer, they won't do it. You saw what happened with Arsenal. They gave him Zinchenko and Gabriel Jesus. They decided, no, we're not giving anyone our players. You saw what happened with Cole Palmer. Chelsea could bring up 70, 80 or something stupid. They may not even let him go. They're probably like, yeah, let's send him to Atletico. We don't want it to give him to a potential rival.
Where I agree with that to an extent, because when I tweeted earlier, why has no one in England gone for him? That is what Chelsea and Arsenal fans both kind of said, whether it was about Palmer or whether it was about, Gabriel Jesus and this sort of thing, or where Arsenal are now, they wouldn't sell to us. Well, that's why you convince the player. Because the one thing City will not do, because we know this is part of their policy, they don't keep players that don't want to be there. If you got into the camp of Julian Alvarez and you made him want to be a Chelsea player, you made him want to be an Arsenal player, there's only probably two clubs in England due to the City's rivalries, and that's Man United and Liverpool, that wouldn't work with. For every other team, if the player had his head turned, he's gettable. Unless you're all telling me that City have now got these internal policies, which all City fans have denied, that they won't sell to people they consider to be not a threat to them.
But Terry, I think it's more so a personal thing. I think Julian Alvarez just doesn't want to be in England anymore. Because I've seen reports about he wants to play in warmer weather and everything like that. And if you're at Man City, I think leaving City would kind of be a downgrade going to any of those other teams that you kind of mentioned. It's do you want to play against them and have to compete against the team that you just left that is going to probably be winning the league and Champions League and all these things? And I think that's kind of what it is more so his preference.
That makes sense.